reflect on just what it is to be Australian. And oddly enough, it's also a good time to have an Englishman stir up a national debate.
Michael Parkinson, or Parky to his friends, is the first foreigner to deliver an Australia Day address. And man, did he lay it on thick.
Indeed, I think I truly fell in love with Australia as one of the most powerful and progressive nations in the world.
The self-confessed honorary Aussie took the opportunity to talk us up on one hand.
Think back 200 years, look around you now. Is not what you see miraculous?
Then give us a gentle slap in the press conference afterwards.
Why should Australia not be a republic? I mean, it's its own country, it's its own man.
What's that, Parky? The monarchy not good enough for us? Well, you seemed pretty pally with Mum not so long ago, Sir Michael. Now, it seems we do have a conflicted relationship with the royals. Generally, older folk have a soft spot for the Windsors. Younger Aussies seem to care less. Yet when Wills came to town, the kids went nuts. It's all a bit confused. So on the eve of Australia Day, it's ironically taken a Brit to suggest we cut the apron strings with the English monarchy. Yeah, whatever. Isn't tomorrow just about celebrating being awesomely Aussie? Go
And for his thoughts, we welcome former chair of the Australian Republic movement and now Shadow Communications Minister, Malcolm Turnbull.
Hey, good to be with you.
Now, you were right behind Australia becoming a republic back in '99. We won't dwell on the fact that it failed then. But what do you make of Parky calling for a republic right now?
Well, I think a lot of people right around the world, particularly in the UK, struggle to see why we have a foreign person, a foreign monarch, as our head of state, and why we don't have an Australian citizen as our head of state. So, that's a challenge for us in the years ahead, and I've got no doubt that we will become a republic with an Aussie as our head of state in the years to come.
Well, Malcolm, what do you think about Parky giving the Australian Day address at all? I mean, shouldn't we find a local?
Well, there are a lot of very talented locals that could have given the address, but Parky is, we are a nation of immigration, and Parky is almost an Australian. He spends a lot of time here. So, Sarah, I think he's probably just about qualifies on merit to do the job.
Malcolm, your own leader, Tony Abbott, the opposition leader, he's the Queen's #1 fan. He loves the Queen, loves everything to do with the royal family.
That's not right.
Probably loves the corgis.
That's not right.
Are you not arguing with him in Cabinet when this comes up?
Well, I've just got to correct something. He's not the Queen's #1 fan in Australia. John Howard is the #1 fan, and Tony's #2. But he's very close. They're very close on that. No, look, we disagree on that, and we've disagreed on it for many years. Tony loves the British connection. He likes having the British monarch as our head of state. I would like to have an Australian. It's something we've disagreed with each other on in a friendly way for well over 20 years, and I imagine we'll continue disagreeing for another 20 years.
Now, even though he's the boss at the moment, Malcolm, we can't let Tony have his way, because in a few years there's a very good chance that Camilla Parker Bowles is going to be our queen, and we can't have that, mate. We need to move on quickly.
Well, Tony's all for Queen Camilla, so that's his commitment. I think our next head of state, after the Queen, should be an Australian citizen chosen by Australians.
Now, Malcolm, you're pretty confident we'll become a republic one day, but let's be honest, the Australian way is a pretty laid-back way. We'd have to change the coins, do a whole bunch of stuff. Isn't becoming a republic just too much hard work?
Well, the coins are the easy bit. The hard bit's changing the Constitution. And we've got a Constitution that has proved almost impossible to change. It's terribly difficult to get the national majority and a majority in a majority of the states. So, the vast majority of constitutional referendums have changed, and even those with the support of both sides of politics have changed. So there's got to be a real national groundswell, overwhelming support, bipartisan support. I think we've got to get to the point where Australians say, look, we love the British connection, we love the Brits, heaven knows. A majority of Australians are descended from Brits, but nonetheless, we want to have an Aussie as our head of state.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll enjoy our public holiday tomorrow, then we'll think about it. Thanks, Malcolm Turnbull, for chatting to us tonight.
Great. Have a happy Australia Day.
I've got the perfect date for when we should become a republican. We should be no other arguments. 2015, 100 years since Gallipoli, when those stupid Poms put us on the wrong beach and killed all those Australians. From that day on, we should become a republic, regardless of whether the Queen's still alive or not.
All right, I'm going to put that in my iPhone and make sure. Now, look, all right, I don't